Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Trying to pick up the speed a little bit and bring us up with some more Zappa. I'm going to really have to start working on that Zappa and getting it out to you guys, because who doesn't love Zappa, man? Alright, speaking of love of Zappa, this album does not generally get much love. This is one of those albums that kind of gets overlooked. I have heard stories about this album. We're talking about Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart and the Mothers of Invention. And this is the last of the Mothers of Invention albums, if I recall correctly. And this is, I believe, the only one to feature Captain Beefheart completely joining. This album consists of recorded mostly live and then studio stuff. Recorded mostly live in Austin, Texas, at the Armadillo World headquarters, and then the studio stuff. Recorded mostly live in Austin, Texas, May 20th and 21st, 1975, and then you've got the studio cut-in parts and stuff like that later on, which was all done in 74. This is... I've heard so many stories about this album over the years, and I don't know what's true and what's not true. I've heard stories that Frank locked everybody, basically kidnapped the entire band, locked them in the studio for like a year and didn't let them out. Which doesn't really make sense when you look at a lot of what Zappa was releasing at the time and a lot of what Zappa was doing at the time. Can I see Zappa being that nuts? Yes. But when you look at the dates, the studio stuff being done in 74 and then the live stuff being done in 75, that makes me think that, there was a possibility they were all trapped in there for that amount of time, rehearsing and practicing all this crap, and then they went out and took it out live, and that's when they recorded the live parts. It's Zappa. You never know for sure what's going on and what's entirely true and what isn't. And Zappa is just one of those complex characters that way, man. Complex character without actually being character. Real life human being that was just really sometimes complicated to decipher. So parts of this album I really like, parts of this album I'm not overly huge into, and the reason why that happens is the parts of the album I like, I am going to guess and say are usually more of the studio recordings, and the live stuff I don't. This one kind of gets really... When Frank was still with the Mothers of Invention, there was a lot of, I want to say, avant-garde-ish, poetic... Music was more than just music. It wasn't just, snotty, highfalutin, but at the same time it was. There are some songs in here that are really good. I really will say they're great songs in the Frank Zappa catalog. There are some where I just kinda... Really? Frank... Okay, so, going into that, the album opens up with Deborah Cadabra. Perfect example of me going, really? Frank? This one's erratic, jazzy... Erratic and jazzy. That's the best way to put it. Captain Beefheart, I'm not the most knowledgeable Captain Beefheart person, the odd thing here and there, but that's about it. I'm not really, I can't talk shit about Captain Beefheart. What I can say is the vocal delivery on this particular track isn't enough to make me interested in going and discovering Captain Beefheart. Then we get into Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy. This one's actually fun. It's singable. I don't mind it too much. It's kind of enjoyable. Sam with the Showing Scalp Flat Top. I enjoy it when it's playing, but that's kind of it. That goes into Poofter's Froth, Wyoming Plans Ahead. The live intro takes up a good chunk of this. And it's really not impressive, and it goes straight into 200 Years Old. And 200 Years Old is not bad, and is being a live track on here, and the way it flows from Poofter into 200, I think, is part of what kind of hurts 200 a little bit. But this one's definitely got more of that kind of old school blues kind of vibe to it, and there's something to it that is actually kind of cool in its rawness. Like, if this was like a Frank Zappa raw live kind of thing, it'd be really good. But with it being a mix, I think it kind of takes away from it a little bit. Then you get into Cucamonga, which is album garbage. Advanced Romance. It's enjoyable while the album's playing, I guess. Man with the Woman Head. It's filler. And then you got Muffin Man. Alright. Muffin Man I really enjoy. I really enjoy Muffin Man. I enjoy it way too much. I kind of feel dirty with how much I enjoy Muffin Man, but it really, really is a fun song. It's singable. It's got a great riff to it. The music to it's enjoyable. Every part about it, it finishes out the album perfectly. The flip side of that is it really shows that Frank Zappa kind of for a while was very much trapped on the concept of the Muffin Man, and the Muffin Utility Kitchen. Got into that a little bit on Joe's Garage review. And this would have been before that, so this kind of would have led into that. Due to production issues, I have to re-record the ending on this one. Bongo Furry, would I recommend it? Because I forgot to even say the name Bongo Furry at the beginning of the review. So, would I recommend Zappa, Beefheart, Mothers of Invention, Bongo Furry? Muffin Man's the only song on here I would honestly recommend. Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy is not bad either, but outside of that, like I said, 200 Years Old could have been something a little bit more if it wasn't the way it was. I don't know. This is definitely one of the more disappointing Zappa albums I've picked up. It happens. What are you going to do? Not everything can be a winner. Let me know what you think, folks. That's what the comment section is before. That is what the comment section is for. On your way down there, you will see a link that will take you to Patreon. If you click on that, I do stuff on Patreon separately from here. I've got some stuff for subscribers on there. I've got even some open stuff on there. I've got some polls going on there. So check that out. That's it, folks. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell for notifications, join button and follow button if you're on Rumble. Locals, eventually I'll have to do something with that. I'm there. Alright, everybody. Peace. Love. Take care.